Hello, welcome to CLSB Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. So, this is part of my primary series as I go through each state, looking at what candidates are running, where they're at. And of course, we only have the June campaign finance data so far from the FEC. So, we're going by that. And we'll have more information in beginning of next year. But this is Mississippi 2026, March 10th, primary outlook. So the Democratic Party of Mississippi, well, it's a red state, so it's a little bit weird, but they do control one of the 4 congressional districts. And I'd like to kind of blow this up a little bit and talk about it a little bit more. So as you can see, there's that little part that sticks out of the third district. That's where they cut a city in half. For gerrymandering purposes. When you look at the seats themselves, 3, if evenly divided with 2, could be a competitive Democratic seat. But because of gerrymandering, the Republicans hold a pretty good majority in 3. 1 is very red, and 4 is also very red. So it is all if divided evenly, probably still a 1 Democrat, 3 Republican seat state, but with the right candidate, enough money, the third could have been moved without the gerrymandering that they've done. Real quick, like and subscribe. If you wish to support this channel, you can go on my website. I'm on YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and Substack. And I have more information about me. And if you go on Substack, you can actually see live shows and things that I'll be doing in the future. Let's look at where the voters are at. And as you can see, there's that really bright blue dot there where they gerrymander and kind of cut into the voters. The rest of it's kind of divided. African Americans tend to live in the western half of Mississippi, and the eastern half, north and south, are all predominantly white. They're the 1 Democratic congressional incumbent, Benny Thompson, looking good. He's got cash on hand of over 1.7 million. He has no real primary opponent. This Democratic seat is kind of set, not going anywhere. Don't see any primary challenge on the horizon that is really anything. District 1, on the other hand, has 3 Democratic candidates running for it, which is interesting to me because they'll have a primary. And when I looked up all of these candidates, I couldn't find any campaign finance data on any of them. They probably only filed in the last couple months. The last filing deadline was in June. So we're probably not going to know exactly where these guys are. And I'll do a follow-up video to this one after there's more FEC data to look at to find out which one of these is most likely to get through the Democratic primary. Money isn't everything in a race, but it's a lot of things in a race. You can have the right candidate at the right time in the right primary and do some really amazing things. But those tend to happen in Democratic safe seats. There's actually a few different groups out there running primaries and Democratic safe seats against incumbents in the Democratic Party that tend to be a bit older. Dogs, one of the guys has run that, has also been part of the party and such. I'm going to do a show on him. He's doing some interesting things. But in these kind of seats, it's a contested primary sometimes, which is what this will be. And then they'll go and they'll run up against the reality of the district. And that reality is kind of interesting. One is that one that's up in the north, eastern corner. And if I blow it out, it's only 35% Democrat. So it's rough. And when you're looking at the voter turnout, it's almost 2-1 Republican. So after these Democrats get through a contested primary, they're going to run into this, and this is a heavy lift. It's not impossible. I don't ever think any race is impossible. I've worked on impossible races and we have won, but this is a heavy lift, and you're going to need a lot of money, and you're going to have to get into areas that may or may not be very conducive to your campaign and do very well in them. And like in other areas where you're not supposed to do well, you just cannot get obliterated, 10-1. It's just that you've got to be able to play. So if a candidate can do that, then they've got a decent chance. But this is a hard one. District 1 was not designed for Democrats, but there are some issues that are floating around, right? We've talked about this on this channel. The OBBB gutted healthcare funding in rural counties. They've gutted the housing supplement programs in rural counties. So that's healthcare and housing, and then because of that, you're going to have those hospital jobs are big time jobs in these districts, and that's going to put some pain on these communities. And when communities get into pain, they start looking around for solutions, So, I wouldn't write this one off, especially in this cycle. I think there's going to be lots of red areas that are going to not necessarily go blue. And I don't think that those Republicans are going to vote for a Democrat, but I think they will vote against a Republican to show that, to teach the Republican Party a lesson or to get them more in line, It's because that happens sometimes. That's how it works. So thank you for watching this. This is my preliminary look at the Mississippi primary. If you want to learn more about, the different things that I'm doing, you can go to YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and Substack. You can go to my website. If you have any questions as far as anyone might want to run for office, feel free to go there and you can email me there. Other than that, hope everyone has a great day, and I'll talk to you later.